Welcome. You know our subject is manufacturing process 2 and this is now module 2 is continuing, is a mechanics of machining, and under this module now we are continuing lecture number 5. The topic of lecture number 5 will be mechanism of chip formation. Now what are the contents of lecture today? Instructional objectives. This, after learning this subject, the students will be able to describe with illustrations the mechanism of chip formation in machining, ductile materials and brittle materials. Number 2, describe geometrical characteristics of ductile chips, that is chip reduction coefficient and cutting ratio, shear angle and cutting strain. Third, identify the causes, characteristics and effects of built up edge BUE formation during machining, and last, classify chips and identify the conditions under which such kind of chips form, and last there will be some quiz and other exercise numerical problems and solutions. Now machining is characterized by gradual material removal in the form of chips. This has been described in detail, and the purpose of machining is to provide dimensional accuracy and surface quality to the preformed blanks to enable the object fulfill the functional requirement of the object, work better, perform better and render longer service life. Now the form of the chips that are produced during machining is an important index of machining. Index of machining means from the chips configuration and color one can understand qualitatively whether the machining ongoing is favorable or not favorable, as it indicates both directly, because the chip form indicates directly and indirectly the nature and behavior of the work material under machining. So what kind of material we are machining, that will be understood from the chips. If we get say discontinuous chips, it means that the work material is behaving brittle. If the chips are continuous, the work material is behaving ductile. Now the specific energy requirement to machine, if the chips are not very uniform, continuous, rather constrained and broken and thickened, that means the more energy is required to conduct the machining work, which is undesirable. It also indicates the nature and degree of interaction at the work tool interface. If at the work interface the temperature is very high or friction is very high, the chips color and configuration will change. So this things will be indicated from the chips. The form and color of the chips depend upon the work material. For example, if the work material is brittle, the chips will be discontinuous, broken chips or dusty chips. If the work material is ductile, we get continuous chip. It depends upon the cutting tool, both material and geometry. If the material is inert, chemically inert, the chips will be better. If the material is sticky or have affinity, chemical affinity towards the work material, the chips will be poorer. And geometry like rake angles of cutting tools play important role on the chip form. Levels of the process parameters. Now process parameters indicate here the cutting velocity and feed, not depth of cut. With increase in cutting velocity and feed, temperature rises and then the form and color of the chips change. Application of cutting fluid. What does cutting fluid do? Cutting fluid does cooling and lubrication, both affect the form and color of the chips. Now here let us see the mechanism of chip formation in machining ductile materials, because the mechanism of machining ductile and brittle materials are entirely different, widely different, but most of the materials, engineering materials that we machine are ductile. Even if not ductile, they are semi brittle or semi ductile, they under the cutting condition they behave ductile. So more stress will be given on the mechanism of chip formation in machining ductile materials. Here you see that this is the work material, this part of the work material. Suppose here is machining going on by a cutting tool. This is the cutting velocity, this is the cutting velocity, and chips flow in this direction. Now, if we take only this portion, it is this. Here you can see that this is the cutting velocity Vc with which the work material is coming down, and this is the uncut layer. This is the thickness of uncut layer, say A1. The layer is going to be, this layer is going to be removed. Now, it is coming ahead the cutting tool and then goes out in the form of chip. So, this is the chip. And this is the thickness of the chip, denoted by A2. Now, the work material, this work material ahead the cutting tool is subjected to almost all sided compression. Here the forces are coming because it is trying to come down. So, there will be force, and this is a resisting force from the tool side. So, this material here will be entrapped and will be subjected to almost all sided compression. Now, this force is really this one, which has got two components, one normal force, one friction force at the working at the rake surface of the tool. Anyway, now because of this compression, shear stress simultaneously develops in different directions, shear stress develops in different directions and keep on growing, and this shear stress will be developing in different directions in different magnitudes, all right. Wherever and whenever the shear stress that is going to be developed reaches or exceeds the shear strength of the work material, then the failure will start. Failure means the separation will take place between this chip material from the parent material. Suppose this is the plane along which the shear stress is maximum, and that reaches the shear strength of the work material. So, there will be slip, there will be slip between the parent material and the chip material, and then there will be slip, this chip will move in this direction, and then a layer of material will be proceeding in this direction. Then again the work material is coming down, again shear stress will develop, again there will be slip, and another layer will come up. So, this way this chip material will come out layer by layer because of the shearing action or yielding process. This will be more evident in the next figure. Say in this the lamellar chip formation by shear. For example, suppose this is an analogy, cardboard analogy. Suppose there is a stack of cardboards or postcards here, and now there is a tool like, a wooden tool like. Now, it is moved in this direction. It is moved in this direction. It is moving in this direction. As a result, these stacks will now, because of this movement, these stacks will gradually these postcards will move in this direction. This will ride on the tool or rake surface of the tool, and this will be like this will be serration. Similarly here, so these stacks will be coming onto the rake surface, and this is how the work material, this is the thickness of uncut layer which is going to be removed, is gradually going into this direction in the form of chip. So, this is called cardboard analogy. This was proposed by P. Spannon, a scientist called P. Spannon, a young scientist, P. Spannon, and he proposed a model to describe the chip formation in ductile materials. So, look into this diagram. This is the cutting velocity Vc, and this is the chip flow, the velocity Vf. This is the tool, and this is the W work, and this is the uncut layer of the chip. Now, here is a layer of the chip. You see this layer. This could go straight in this direction in absence of the tool, but because of the presence of the tool, this layer will go into this direction and occupy this position. So, this layer is shifted. In this way, the layers are shifted one by one and coming out in this form, and because of this, the serration will develop, and when actually we machine the material and get the chip and examine, such kind of serrations are visible. So, it is very true, but the bottom surface theoretically should also be serrated, but it becomes smooth when we examine the chips, because at this region a lot of softening takes place because of high temperature, and because of this plastic deformation and rubbing, this bottom surface of the chip becomes smooth, but the upper surface remains just like serrated. This is called Peace-Spann model of explaining the chip formation of ductile material by shearing process, layer by layer. Now, let us see the next experimental study of chip formation. The purpose, why some experimental study is necessary? Because the chip that is formed, there is a kind of mechanical failure, because it is a permanent deformation of the tool material, work material. So, it is a kind of failure. Now, what is the cause of failure? It is a mechanical failure. That means it is caused by stress, either by say compression stress or shear stress or tensile stress or combination. Now, what is the real cause, or which one is more predominantly acting on formation of the chip? It is very complex phenomena, so it is very difficult to understand. So, some experiments can be conducted to understand all these things, that what is the real mechanism or what kind of stress are really responsible for chip formation in ductile materials. Now, the experimental methods are study of grid deformation. Now, this shows the study of grid deformation. Here suppose this is a tool, it is a shaping process, and this is doing shaping work. This is a layer of material which is coming out in the form of chip. Now, this is a shaping process. Now, what you do before experiment, this side surface, this is a plate, this is a plate, all right. Now, on the side surface of the plate, some grid marks are inscribed and some vertical marks. It looks like this. Okay. Now, when the chips are formed due to movement of this tool in this direction, or this moves in this direction, it gets diverted and the thickness increases. You see the small grids, rectangular grids are deformed into some peculiar form. From this nature and extent of deformation, one can understand or analyze that what is the real cause of this deformation, shear or compression or tension. Again, this is called square grids. Now, here is circular grid. On the side surface, you can inscribe some circular marks, circles. Okay, scribe. Now, when this will move in this direction and go into the form of chip, you will find that this will be distorted and this will be converted to ellipse. Now, from the direction of the major and minor axis and from the values of the major axis and major radius and minor radius with respect to the radius of the circle, there are Levi-Loeb's theorem and other theorems using which one can easily understand or analyze what is the basic mechanism or cause of such kind of deformation. Is it shear or tension or compression? It has been found that mostly it is caused by shear if it is ductile material. So, the main cause is shear. Now, come to chip formation in machining brittle materials. It is a different process. Now, chip formation is a permanent deformation process, whether it is ductile or brittle, because it is a failure, permanent deformation of the work material in the form of chips. Ductile material are formed by what is called yielding or shear, but brittle materials are formed by brittle fracture. So, there are two basic mechanisms, yielding and brittle fracture. Now, the brittle materials fail by brittle fracture. Now, what is the mechanism? While machining, suppose this is the cutting velocity, this is the cutting velocity Vc, a small crack is developed at the cutting tool, a very small crack, this is a crack. Now, at this end of the crack there will be lot of stress concentration at the end of the crack, and this develops due to wedging action of the tool. It is moving in this direction relative to the job. Now, if it is a ductile material, then because of the stress concentration and the stress will exceed the yield strength, there will be yielding and the tip of the crack will be rounded, and because of rounding the stress will fall. So, this will not propagate, but if it is brittle material, then there will be lot of stress concentration at the tip of the crack, and that will exceed the strength of the material, and that crack will propagate in a random path through minimum resistance path, where the resistance is minimum, and this propagation of the crack will quickly separate the chip from the parent body. This is the mechanism. Now, let us see this one. Here a chip particle has been formed of irregular size and shape, and it has been separated out from a surface, irregular surface with a minimum resistance path, because these brittle materials have got lot of voids and defects. So, it has got uniform property, not uniform property. Now, after it goes out, again this work material, because of this movement VC, it is coming down, there will be swelling. Now, there will be again crack propagation. So, this will also come out. So, this has come out, this will also come out. Now, two chips are formed, again there will be swelling. So, this way continuously chips will be forming, and these are all discontinuous chips, and the size and shape of these chips will be different, and sometimes this will break into further pieces. Now, come to next. Now, the geometrical characteristics of continuous chips. As I told you that in machining activities most of the work material behave ductile, engineering materials. So, we concentrate on continuous chips produced by ductile materials. Now, what are the major geometrical features of the cutting process? Chip reduction coefficient, that is chip reduction coefficient, and denoted by zeta, chip reduction coefficient, or cutting ratio denoted by R. Now, here you see this is a turning process going on. This is the workpiece, this is the workpiece, this is the finished surface, this is the cutting tool. The first position, after one pass, one of the revolution, the tool occupies this position. From this position, tool goes into this position. As a result, the chip cross section, this is chip cross section of the chip. If you take a section of this process of the tool and the chip by an orthogonal plane pi o, and this is pi r, you know, then we get a view like this. This is orthogonal view, orthogonal plane. Now, this is A1, the thickness of the uncut layer. This is thickness A2 of the chip. This is the plane of shear or slip, and this is A1, thickness of the chip. This is the depth of cut, amount of penetration of the tool from unfinished to finished surface, and this is called width of cut, B1, width of cut, and this is orthogonal plane. Now, if you take this section, you can draw this one, the same figure is drawn here. It is slightly 2D effect, where you can see the width of the chip also. Say this is B1, this B1, this is the width of the chip after cut, and this is the shear plane along which the slip takes place, and this is the uncut layer, thickness A1, and this is A2, and this is the cutting velocity Vc. What is this one? Rake angle. What is this one? Alpha, clearance angle. Now, what is zeta? Zeta, chip reduction coefficient, zeta is equal to A2 by A1. What is zeta? Chip reduction coefficient, ratio of the thickness of the chip after cut and before cut. It will be always greater than 1. Why? Because the work material ahead is subjected to compression. Because of compression, the chip becomes thicker. So, this will be thicker than this. So, the value of zeta will be greater than 1 always. Now, here the Cronenberg's model, he is a scientist, he did lot of work in this area. he related zeta, the chip reduction coefficient, with gamma and mu. Before we do write the equation, we should understand that what is the significance of this zeta? What is the significance of this zeta? Zeta is called chip reduction coefficient. This is A2 by A1. So, this is the degree of thickening of the chip. More thickening means more energy investment, less thickening means less energy investment. What do we want? The work should be done with lesser energy investment. That means this thickening should be as less as possible, or the value of zeta should be as small as possible, but not at the cost of productivity. Keeping productivity same, our attempt should be to reduce zeta as far as possible. That means lesser energy will be required to get the work done. Okay, that is the significance of zeta. Now, here the Cronenberg equation states that zeta is equal to e to the power mu pi by 2 minus gamma, say O, orthogonal rake, and this is orthogonal cutting. Now, what is desirable? Desirable is that zeta should be as low as possible, but this is a function of rake angle, of the cutting tool. Now, if the rake angle increases, then zeta will decrease. If rake angle decreases, then this will increase, which is unfavorable, and if rake angle is negative, then this will be plus and this will be very large, which is also very undesirable. Then the cutting force and other problems will arise. So, this is one aspect. Then mu, the coefficient of friction at the chip tool interface, all right, in between the chip and the tool. If that is high, then zeta will be large, and if zeta is large, that is undesirable. Mu, if mu is less, then zeta will decrease, that is desirable. Now, how the friction can be reduced? By lubrication process, or by taking that kind of tool where the friction is less. Now, graphically, the relation of zeta, chip reduction coefficient, with respect to rake angle and mu are shown here. So, with the increase in rake angle, this value of zeta decreases, this is desirable, very good. And with the increase in friction, this will rise. So, we should always try to reduce mu or friction by lubrication and so on, so that zeta comes down, that is desirable. Now, let us come to shear angle. This is the angle of bending of the chip. Now, this is how the chip is formed. This is a cross sectional view of the cutting drawn in orthogonal plane. This is drawn in orthogonal plane, the entire diagram. This is the cutting tool, this is the W workpiece, this is the cutting velocity, this is the thickness of uncut layer A1, this is shear plane, this is the chip thickness after cut A2, and what is this angle? This is rake angle, you know, and this is clearance angle. Okay. But this angle is the angle of inclination of the shear plane from the velocity vector. So, this is the shear angle, angle of inclination of the shear plane from the velocity vector, and taken in orthogonal plane. Now, what is the value of this and how it is related to zeta, gamma and other things? Suppose this point is O, this point is A, this is B and this is C, they draw perpendicular. Then what is zeta? Zeta is the chip reduction coefficient is equal to A2 by A1. Now, what is A1? Here is AB, AB is A1, this AB, and this is equal to OA sin beta. We are writing beta O because this shear angle is taken in the orthogonal plane. And what is A2? A2 is AC. And what is AC? AC can be written as OA. What is this angle? This angle will be, if you check, this will be beta O minus gamma O, beta O minus gamma O. Then AC will be OA, this is right angle, OA cosine beta minus gamma. Therefore, what we get? Zeta is equal to A to OA cancels. So, this will be cosine beta minus gamma divided by sine beta. Now, if you just use this equation and can find out, tan beta will be equal to cosine gamma divided by zeta minus sine gamma. So, this is a very important expression. The shear angle beta is function of rake angle and the chip reduction coefficient. Now, come to average cutting strain. Now, it is cutting strain, cutting means shearing, as you know this is a shearing process. So, this is a shearing strain. Now, here in this diagram, suppose this is the bottom line is fixed, this is a block and subjected to a shear stress. So, this will be the amount of shear, say delta S, over a height, say y. Then what is strain, shear strain? That will be equal to delta S, this delta S divided by y, that is tangent of this angle, shear angle gamma. Now, in case of machining, that is according to Pispinen model, if you see here that this layer which was supposed to come downward if the tool is absent has occupied this position because of obstruction created by the tool. That means this point which was supposed to be here has gone to that point. So, how much is the shift? So, this is the amount of shift similar to this. And what is the height of this? This is y. So, if we put say O and this point M and this point N, then what is cutting strain? Cutting strain will be equal to that amount of shift delta S, that is Mn divided by the height, this one. So, you can drop a perpendicular here, say point P, then this will be OP. Now, here what is Mn? This Mn, so epsilon is equal to Mn. Mn can be divided to Mp plus Np divided by OP. And what is Mp? Mp is equal to OP, or we can write, forget about this, Mp, yes, Mp is equal to OP, this angle is beta, this angle is beta O. So, cotangent beta. And what is Np? Now, Np is this much. What is this angle? This angle is beta minus gamma. You can check it later on, beta minus gamma. So, this is OP tangent of beta minus gamma. Now, if you put it here, what we get? We get epsilon is equal to cotangent of beta plus tan beta minus gamma. Now, mind that what is the significance of this cutting strain? This should also be as low as possible. More cutting strain means more energy invested, that is more power loss and more heat will be generated, all these problems will arise. So, this is another index of machinability which should be as low as possible for good machining purpose. Now, let us come to built up edge formation. This is a problem in machining, particularly ductile materials, not all materials, but some of the materials which are sticky or chemically sensitive. What is built up edge? Now, here you see that in this diagram, what is this? This is the cutting velocity. In which plane the diagram has been drawn, or pi r, sorry, pi o. This is pi o, orthogonal plane, and this is the reference plane. This is a velocity vector. This is pi r, and this is rake angle, and this is clearance angle. Anyway, so the chip is coming and flowing in this direction. Now, what about the chip tool interface? There lot of forces act and that cause stress, and because of the rubbing under high stress there is lot of temperature. So, here lot of temperature and stress will develop. Beside that, these surfaces of contact or rubbing are nascent, very clean. So, on one hand these two metallic surfaces are clean, nascent, lot of stress exists and high temperature prevails. So, all these three phenomena or factors favor what is called for adhesion, strong adhesion between the chip material and the tool material, or just like welding, and this will start where the stress and temperature are maximum, all right, at this point. This is called embryo of the chip of the built up edge. Now, this embryo will gradually go on building or growing, and this is called built up edge. But with the growth of built up edge, a force will develop which will be acting in this direction, and this built up edge is held by adhesion, strong adhesion or friction, and then this, when this force exceeds the bond strength, then this built up edge is separated out from the tool and it goes along with the chip like this. So, this built up edge, that is repetitive phenomena. It starts, then it grows, then after some time it gets separated from the tool and it goes along with the chip, and so this is a repetitive phenomena, all right. And sometime this can overflow on the flank side of the tool, and then there will be some marks left on the finished surface, and that will spoil the finished surface. For the causes of built up edge formation, that is adhesion, strong adhesion like welding, because of two nascent surfaces are intimately existing and rubbing under high stress and high temperature. Now, the characteristics of built up edge. So, built up edge is desirable or undesirable? We have to study. Shape, size and bond strength of the built up edge depends upon the work tool materials. If the work material is brittle, then such kind of phenomena will not take place, because this contact is not regular, very short contact. There should be continuous contact over a long period under high temperature and pressure, that is work material should be ductile or continuous contact. Tool material, if the tool material is very chemically inert, then such kind of, and no affinity for the chip material, so there will be no chemical bond, metallurgical bond, so there will be no built up edge formation. Tool geometry, if the tool geometry is unfavorable, say minus or negative, then there will be more built up edge formation. Stress and temperature, if the stress is very high because of high force feed like that, and hard materials are hardening, then temperature is high because of high velocity and high feed, then there will be more chances of built up edge formation. Cutting fluid application. Now, cutting fluid does cooling and lubrication. Both cooling and lubrication retards or hampers or prevents formation of, or obstructs formation of built up edge. That is our desired thing. Now, effects of built up edge formation. What are the effects? Favorable or unfavorable? Mostly unfavorable. You see that effects of formation, unfavorable rake angle and consequences. Unfavorable rake angle. Now, this is a cutting tool, all right, removing chip. What is the rake angle? Rake angle is positive, which is always good, favorable condition, rake angle. Now, when the built up edge forms, then this becomes a part of the tool and the rake angle becomes negative. When it becomes negative, then the chip reduction coefficient increases, the cutting force increases, and then we have to face the consequences. That is, in the rake angle becomes negative, the cutting force increases. Because of increase in cutting force, more power is consumed, there is a lot of vibration and the dimensional accuracy will be lost. What is the other effect? Next effect, fluctuation in cutting forces. As I told you, that built up edge that develops and goes out, again develops and goes out. Because of that, the force that develops into the cutting tool and machine tool, that keeps on fluctuating, all right. So, the fluctuation in force causes a vibration and the quick damage of the cutting tool, worsening of the surface finish of the job, and damage of the health of the machine tool also. Poor surface finish, because of the built up edge formation and overflowing, it comes into the finished area and damage the finished surface. May reduce tool life, yes. How? If on the cutting tool the built up edge forms, then when it goes out, this built up edge, it removes a layer of cutting tool material along with this weldment or the built up edge, that is a weldment. So, this, and here because of the fluctuation, there will be breaking of the edges. So, the cutting tool will quickly lose material by damage and its life will decrease. Now, here you see that the types of chips, there are different types of chips formed under different conditions. As I told, the form and color of the chip is a good indication, maybe directly or indirectly, indication whether the machining that is going on is favorably going on or unfavorably going on. Okay, is it acceptably condition or unacceptable condition. So, the one should have thorough knowledge about the chips, machining chips. Now, there are different types of chips. Expert people they can predict or they can assess the condition of machining, favorable or unfavorable, good or bad, just from the configuration, color and dimension of the chips, say chip reduction coefficient and so on. Now, let us see the major classification. There are many types, but we shall consider only 4 basic types, major types of chips and the conditions under which such kind of chips develop. What are those? Now, this type of chip, identify the correct one, here the type of chip, types of chips and conditions favoring those chips form. First one is discontinuous type, is a discontinuous type. Now, here you see discontinuous type, irregular size. There are 2 categories of discontinuous type. The chips are broken, but it can be the small particular chips may be of same size or shape, irregular size of shape or regular size of shape. When this will be discontinuous and irregular size of shape, little lumpy and maybe little dusty of various size. When the work material is brittle, when the work material is brittle, say cast iron or bronze or ceramic, then the chips will be discontinuous and of irregular size and shape. And here Now, this will be whenever the work material is brittle, then the chip will be irregular, discontinuous or irregular size and shape, irrespective of cutting velocity, feed or rake angle or cutting fluid, irrespective. But we can also get discontinuous chip of regular size and shape, uniform size and shape, same repetitive, when the work material will be ductile but hard or hardenable. Cutting velocity medium, neither very small, low or nor very high. Feed large, rake angle negative, and cutting fluid either absent, we are not applying, or inadequate, not sufficient. Now, continuous type chip. The continuous type chip obviously develops when the work material is ductile. Now, there are two categories, without built up edge and with built up edge. When it is with built up edge, the chips will be very uniform, continuous, smooth, sharp, and that is very favorable condition. When there is a built up edge along with this continuous chip, the chips will be continuous, but it will not be very uniform. There is some waviness or the surface will be rough, and all these things will appear because of the existence of built up edge under the chip surface. Now, when this continuous type chip without built up edge develops, this is the ideal. When the work material is ductile and soft like mild steel, aluminum, say brass, cutting velocity normally high, feed should be low or medium, rake angle favorably positive, and cutting fluid profuse, cutting fluid applied. With built up edge, when built up edge will develop, which is undesirable, work material will be ductile and sticky, all right, like say mild steel or low carbon steel or say copper, and cutting velocity medium. If the cutting velocity is very low, then temperature becomes insufficient to cause built up edge. If the cutting velocity is very high, then built up edge will be squashed out, will be simply removed, will not be able to develop, and built up edge develops only when the cutting velocity is medium, the temperature corresponds to which is favorable for welding. Now, feed medium or large, rake angle irrespective, and cutting fluid absent or inadequate. Now, jointed chip is another chip, it is neither continuous nor broken, is in between, jointed chip, all right. So, chips will be segmented and they will be kept joined, but with little touch or pressure this will break into pieces of irregular size and shape. I shall show you later on, but this happens when the work material is semi ductile or semi brittle and hard, cutting velocity is low or medium, feed is medium or large, rake angle will be negative. These are all unfavorable condition, and cutting fluid is absent or inadequate. Now, I shall show you this segmented chip or the jointed chip and this regular chip. Why does it happen? Just imagine this is a cutting tool and the chips are flowing like this. Okay. Now, the shear takes place, this is the one layer, this is another layer. So, this layer has gone to that layer, leaving a small crack inside or discontinuity, and this becomes serrated as I told you earlier. Now, when the work material is semi ductile and the rake angle is negative or that is unfavorable, cutting fluid is not given and work material is hard, then this crack goes to a bigger longer extent, it remains, it goes like this, but these are not separated, the chips remain connected, but there is a wide gap. So, this is called jointed chips, all right. So, this happens while machining titanium alloy by carbides, such kind of gaps remain, these are all segments connected over a small area. Now, if you apply little pressure or if the rake is negative further, then this will break into pieces, this will come out as segments like this, this will come out as segment, but of uniform size and shape. This is the reason or the condition when we get discontinuous chip of regular size and shape. Now, let us have some quiz test. Very simple, some questions have been designed. Identify the correct one out of the 4 given answers. Suppose there is a point that in turning mild steel, the value of zeta, that is chip reduction coefficient, will be, these are 4 answers, greater than 1, less than 1, equal to 1, or none of the above. All right. Now, which one is correct? You should give a tick mark to that. Zeta, you remember that zeta is A2 by A1, thickness of the chip after cut, thickness of the chip before cut, and this is greater than 1, because this chip forms because of the compression. The chips undergo compression, which increases the thickness. So, this will be greater than 1. So, this is the correct answer. Next one, the value of shear angle beta O depends upon tool rake angle, friction at chip tool interface, built up edge formation, all of the above. Now, which one is correct? Let us examine. Tool rake angle, does it affect beta? Now, this beta is a function of zeta, you see earlier, and zeta is function of mu friction and rake angle. So, beta will depend upon the tool rake angle. So, this is correct. Friction at chip to interface, this is also correct, this is also correct, and when the built up edge forms, the rake angle changes. So, the effect of built up is also there, and last is all of the above. So, this is the correct answer, that all these previous 3 are applicable. Next question, shaping process. In a shaping machine, gray cast iron block will produce, if you just shape a cast iron machine, a cast iron block in a shaping machine by any cutting tool, say high speed steel or carbide, will produce what kind of chip? Continuous chip with built up edge, continuous chip without built up edge, discontinuous chip of irregular size and shape, discontinuous chip of regular size and shape. First you decide that continuous or discontinuous chip. This is gray cast iron, this is gray cast iron, gray cast iron. So, this is a brittle material, all right. So, this will produce discontinuous chip, and since it is gray cast iron, so irregular chip will be of irregular size and shape. So, the C is correct answer. Number 4, the value of chip reduction coefficient zeta does not depend upon cutting velocity, it depends, depth of cut doubtful, cutting tool material sure, because if the cutting tool material is very chemically weak, then there will be lot of metallurgical bonding with the chip, and there will be built up edge formation, and zeta will increase and so on. Tool rake angle is the most important parameter that affects very much zeta. So, only one, this depth of cut, that does not affect. So, this is the answer. So, all these answers are given in the next page. Now, let us have another question, a numerical problem. During plane turning mild steel rod, suppose by a tool of geometry. Now, look at the geometry very carefully. 0 degree, what is this? The first one is, if it is millimeter, that means it is never, by no means, ASS system. This will be either ORS system, orthogonal system, or normal rake system, because this nose radius given in millimeter. Now, this first one stands for, the first one stands for lambda. If lambda is 0, then there is no difference between normal rake system and orthogonal system. So, this can be orthogonal normal system, say orthogonal. Then what is the next one? Rake angle. So, orthogonal rake, that is orthogonal rake is 0 degree. Then these are clearance angles, this is the cutting angle phi. What is phi? 90 degree. So, this we get a nose radius 0. So, machining is very simple. At feed 0.2 millimeter per revolution, the chip thickness was found to be 0.5 millimeter, determine the value of zeta and beta in the above case. Okay, let us try. What is zeta? Zeta is equal to A2 by A1. A2 is the thickness of the chip. What is A1? A1 is equal to feed multiplied by sin phi, all right. Now, what is phi? Phi is 90 degree, 90 degree. So, this is 1. So, A2 by SO. What is A2? Given 0.5 and SO given 0.2. So, this is 2.5. zeta, so greater than 1. Then what is shear angle? Shear angle is equal to tan, or tangent of shear angle is equal to cosine gamma zeta minus sin gamma. Now, gamma is 0 degree, here is 0 degree. So, this is 1, this is 0. So, this is equal to 1 by zeta. So, this is 0.4. Then what is beta? Tan inverse of 0.4. So, beta is equal to around 21 degree. So, this is obtained. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, you should remember that what is zeta? Zeta is chip reduction coefficient. A2 by A1, which is always greater than 1. There is another term used, say R. R is called cutting ratio. Cutting ratio is nothing but 1 by zeta, which is less than 1. So, both zeta and this cutting ratio are utilized by the scientists for research and analysis and all these things. So, and in that case, that tan beta will be R cosine gamma divided by 1 minus R sin gamma. So, this is about this mechanism of chip formation and the characteristics of the chips, built up edges, and then classification of the chips. And you can practice few more, this you will get lot of questions and quiz questions in books, and you can try to solve it. So, this ends today. So, this is the solution given here, and thank you very much.